A Supreme Court decision just dropped that can shake California carry rules faster than most people realize. And if you don't understand what effective, paused, and enforced really mean, you can walk into a felony by accident. Quick question before we continue. Are you subscribed? Because what I'm about to reveal could keep you out of life-changing legal trouble. Hit that button now. All right, let's slow this down and make it simple. People keep throwing around phrases like 9-0 FIREBOMB and instant overhaul. Here's the truth you need. Gun law changes don't always come as one clean, easy rule. Sometimes the explosion is a court ruling that starts a chain reaction. Other times, it's the confusion that hits right after a ruling when nobody knows what is live and what is frozen. And right now, California is in one of those moments where the ground feels like it's moving. Even if you never plan to open carry, even if you only care about concealed carry, even if you just keep it in the car. Because when courts start pulling on one thread, the whole sweater can shift. Here's what just happened in plain English. A federal appeals court ruling out of the Ninth Circuit punched a major hole in California's open carry ban in big counties. That matters because big counties are where most people live. So for the average person, it feels like the state's rule just got flipped upside down. But this is where most people make the biggest mistake. They hear unconstitutional and they think it means gone. They hear struck down and they think it means I'm safe today. That is not always how it works in real life, because there are two different worlds. There's the world of legal opinions, and there's the world of police enforcement. In the enforcement world, officers often enforce what's written on the books until a court order clearly stops it. And sometimes, even after a ruling, the state asks for a pause. That pause is called a stay. A stay is like a remote control. A judge presses pause, and the old rule can keep running while the appeal plays out. So today, the smart move is not celebrating. The smart move is understanding the timeline, the triggers, and the traps. Now let me tell you why this feels like a firebomb to so many gun owners. It's because this isn't just about open carry. This is about how the courts are testing gun laws after a major Supreme Court change a few years ago. The Supreme Court basically told lower courts, stop using your own balancing test. Instead, they said, compare modern gun laws to America's history. That sounds boring, but it's actually massive. Because now, states have to prove their modern restrictions match older traditions. And if they can't, those laws start falling apart. That's the domino effect. One case cracks a wall, then other lawsuits rush through that crack. Then the state tries to patch it fast. Then new lawsuits hit the patch. That's why you see 1 week of calm and the next week of chaos. So here's how we're going to handle this today. I'm going to break this into 6 clear segments, like a checklist. And I'm going to use real-world scenarios so you can picture how this hits you. Segment 1, what the ruling really means and what it does not mean. Segment 2, the instant impact problem and how people catch charges during confusion. Segment 3, the California carry maze that traps good people. Segment 4, what changes in 2026 could do to private property carry and default no carry zones. Segment 5, 3 mistakes people keep making right now. Segment 6, the simple action plan you can use starting tonight. Let's jump in. Segment 1, what the ruling really means and what it does not mean. The big message is simple. The court said California can T-ban open carry for almost everybody in almost every major county and still claim it respects the Second Amendment. That's the top-level takeaway. But it does not automatically mean everyone open carries tomorrow. It does not mean no permits matter. It does not mean every gun restriction is dead. It does not mean police can't arrest you. This is the part that shocks people. A law can be ruled unconstitutional, and you can still get arrested under it if the ruling is paused, unclear, or not yet implemented. So the first question isn't, did the gun owners win? The first question is, what is the current enforcement reality? If you take one thing from this video, take this. A court win does not protect you if the system hasn't flipped the switch yet. Now a quick story. Imagine you're in California. You're not looking for trouble. You're not trying to be edgy. You just want to protect yourself. When you watch a clip online and it says, open carry ban is dead, you think, finally, I can carry on my hip like people do in other places. So you put on a holster, you drive to a store, somebody sees it and panics. They call 911 and say, man with a gun. Police show up fast. You say, it's legal, the court said so. The officer says, sir, the state law still says it's illegal. Now you're face down on the pavement. Even if you are 100% right in the long run, you can still lose in the short run. You can lose your gun for months. You can lose thousands of dollars in lawyer fees. You can lose your job if your boss sees your mugshot. You can lose your peace of mind. So when people ask me, is it worth it? My answer is, only if you know the exact status today. And that leads straight into segment 2. Segment 2, the instant impact problem. People think the legal system moves slow. Sometimes it does. But the impact of a ruling can be instant because it changes behavior overnight. The second a decision drops, three things happen immediately. First, lawyers file new motions in other cases. They point to the ruling and say, "Judge, you must follow this logic too." That spreads the blast outward. Second, government offices react. Even if they don't announce it publicly, they send internal guidance. Sheriffs talk to their lawyers. Police departments ask, "What do we do now?" Some agencies will play it safe. Others will enforce hard until forced to stop. Third, regular people react. Gun owners start testing the edges. Anti-gun groups start pushing new bills. Media outlets push scary stories. And that pressure makes lawmakers move. So yes, the impact is instant, but here's the danger. The instant impact period is also when the law is the most confusing. And confusion is how normal people get trapped. This is where it gets crazy. During confusion, two things can be true at the same time. A judge can say, "This restriction likely violates the Constitution." And a cop can still arrest you under the same restriction. That's not because the cop is evil. It's because cops enforce statutes, not headlines. And unless a clear order says, "Stop enforcing," enforcement often continues. So how do you protect yourself? You protect yourself by refusing to make decisions based on hype. You protect yourself by checking whether the ruling is in effect or paused. And if you can't confirm it, you act like the old rule still applies. Because in court, the burden lands on you. You can't say, "I thought it changed." The judge will say, "Ignorance is not a defense." And that brings us to segment 3, the California carry maze. If you're finding this helpful, imagine what you'll learn in my next video about the 5 words that protect you when police ask about your gun. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Segment 3, the California carry maze that traps good people. California gun law is not one rule. It's layers of rules stacked like a messy sandwich. You have state statutes, you have county policies, you have permit conditions, you have sensitive place bans, you have federal rules that can sneak in when you least expect it. That's why I call it a maze. And when the courts shake one wall, the whole maze shifts. Here are 3 traps that catch people. Trap 1, thinking carry is carry. Most people think open carry and concealed carry are the same thing with different fashion choices. They're not. They can have different permission rules, different location rules, and different penalties. Trap 2, thinking my permit covers everything. A permit can help, but it does not make you immune. You can still break a location rule. You can still violate a posting rule. You can still end up in a prohibited area without realizing it. Trap 3, thinking I'm in the right, so I'll be treated like I'm in the right. This is the harsh reality. You can be legally right and still have the worst day of your life because the process is the punishment. Now let's do a hypothetical example to make this crystal clear. Here's a hypothetical example to explain this. You have a concealed carry permit. You carry daily, responsibly. You go to pick up your kid from school. You don't walk into the building. You don't step onto the playground. You stay nearby. But nearby can be dangerous. Some places have zones. Some places have boundaries you can't see. Some places have mixed property lines. Now imagine an officer says you were inside a prohibited area. You say, "I was just waiting in my car." The officer says, "You were within the zone." Now you're not arguing the Second Amendment. You're arguing about feet and lines and maps. And that is not where you want to be. This is why I say the biggest threat to gun owners is not always the anti-gun law itself. Sometimes it's the confusion around it. Now, quick legal note. This is educational information, not legal advice. Always consult an attorney for your specific situation. Now we move into segment 4, and this is where 2026 becomes the real headline. Segment 4, what changes in 2026 could do to private property, carry and default no carry zones. A huge battle in 2026 is about private property carry rules. Some states want a default no rule. That means you cannot carry on private property unless the owner says yes. That might sound normal to some people, but think about what it does. Most places you visit in daily life are private property. Grocery stores, gas stations, restaurants, parking lots, malls, even sidewalks and some shopping centers. So if the default becomes no, your carry right becomes a guessing game. And guessing games create criminals out of normal people. On the other side, there's the default yes approach. That means you can carry unless the owner tells you no, like with a sign or a direct request. That creates clarity. You can look for a sign. You can follow posted rules. You can leave if asked. The big fight is, which default does the Constitution allow? Now, why does this matter for California? Because California has been building more and more restricted places for carry. If courts say states can label huge areas sensitive or default no, then states can choke carry without banning it directly. And that's the sneaky part. Most people think a gun ban looks like a gun ban, but modern bans can look like death by 1,000 zones. You're not banned from carrying. You're just banned from carrying everywhere that matters. If you've ever wondered why gun owners get so angry about where laws, that's why. Because where can destroy weather. Now, let me tell you the part that made my jaw drop the first time I saw states try it. Some states flipped the rules so hard that even walking into a friend S business could be a crime unless the owner posted permission. That's not respecting private property in a normal way. That's using private property as a tool to erase carry. And 2026 decisions can either stop that strategy or bless it. So you need to be ready for fast changes. Because once the Supreme Court draws the line, states respond quickly. Some will loosen rules, others will rush new restrictions into law and dare lawsuits to stop them. That's why people say instant, not because the whole law is rewritten in one day, but because the practical world shifts fast when the big court speaks. Now we move into segment 5, the 3 mistakes people are making right now. Hey, 73% of people watching right now aren't subscribed. Don't be part of that group. Join the gun owners who get these updates first. Click subscribe. Segment 5, 3 mistakes people keep making right now. Mistake 1, treating social media like it's a law book. I get it. It's fast. It's exciting. It feels like you're in the know. But a viral clip is not a legal update. A hot take is not a court order. And if you act on it, you're the one taking the risk, not the person who posted it. Mistake 2, testing the edge during the most confusing moment. When a major ruling drops, some people get brave. They want to be the first. They want to prove a point. They want to exercise rights. I'm not telling you not to have rights. I am telling you that the confusion window is when you are most likely to get arrested, even if the law is about to change. If you want to be the test case, understand what that means. It means money, stress, months or years of court, and your name on the internet forever. Mistake 3, forgetting that California is not only California. What do I mean? Even inside California, enforcement can vary by county and city. And outside California, if you travel, your carry status can change at the state line. People assume, I have a permit, I'm good. Then they drive into another state or another jurisdiction and the rules flip. So your job is not to memorize every law in America. Your job is to build a habit. Before you carry in a new place, you verify the rules for that place. Now, segment 6 is the action plan. This is what you can actually do starting tonight without being a lawyer. Segment 6, a simple action plan. Step 1, separate the law from the status. The law might be on the books. The status is whether it's being enforced today. So when you hear a ruling, ask one question. Is there a pause, a stay, or an enforcement change? If you can't answer that, you don't act like it changed. Step 2, keep your carry routine boring. Boring is good. Boring means safe. Boring means predictable. Don't add new behavior just because you're excited about a court decision. Wait for clarity. Step 3, learn your top 5 danger locations. You don't need to memorize everything. Start with the places that create the most risk, schools and school zones, government buildings, courts, airports, and posted private property rules. Know those categories cold? Step 4, don't talk yourself into trouble. If you ever have an interaction with law enforcement, the biggest danger is not always the law. Sometimes it's your mouth. People start explaining, arguing, and giving extra details. They think talking will fix it. Sometimes talking makes it worse. Stay calm, be respectful, follow instructions. And if things get serious, you stop discussing details and get legal help. Step 5, track changes like a grown-up. You don't have to read legal documents every day, but you do need one trusted routine. Pick 1 or 2 reliable sources you check weekly, then check again when a major ruling drops, because in 2026, changes can come fast. Now, let me add one more thing, because this is the emotional part nobody says out loud. A lot of gun owners are tired. They're tired of the rules changing. They're tired of feeling like the state wants them to fail. They're tired of doing everything right and still feeling like one mistake could destroy them. If that's you, I understand. But here's the hard truth. The system doesn't care that you retired. The courtroom doesn't care that you're confused. The prosecutor doesn't care that you saw a headline. So your best defense is discipline. Discipline means you don't move on hype. Discipline means you don't treat court opinions like permission slips until you confirm status. Discipline means you protect your life by protecting your record. And here's the good news. If courts keep forcing states to justify restrictions with real history, some of these laws are going to keep getting challenged. Some will fall, some will get rewritten, and some will survive. But either way, your job is the same. Stay legal, stay informed, stay calm. This information could literally expire after January 2026. Subscribe now because the next video explains exactly what you need to do before that deadline hits. All right, let's wrap this up. Here's the key takeaway. California is being hit by major carry-related court fights, and the effects can feel instant because enforcement and behavior shift fast. But a ruling and your real-world safety are not the same thing. Your best move is to verify the current status before changing how you carry. If you got value from this, subscribe right now, because I am going to keep tracking every major move that could change your rights and your risks. And if you're a responsible gun owner trying to do the right thing, you belong in this community. Final legal disclaimer, in simple terms, I'm not your lawyer, and this is not legal advice. Laws change, court orders get paused, and your exact facts matter. If you need guidance for your specific situation, talk to a qualified attorney in your area.